Hello and welcome back to the rebuild of San Cruz. You see the building there? I put it up after the last episode. I'll show it a little bit later. I talked about it before. So the area we're going to concentrate on today are these two, office commercial area and residential area in the background. So let's bring up the UI and let's get started. This will be very diverse area, and I hope when will the UI come back? Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so what we're going to do today, I have cleared the area of all buildings, and I'm going to change some roads back and forth here in order to but I'm also going to replace the old center home, old care home, and daycare home that I have here. I'm going to put it right in the center of this area. And because I kind of like these buildings. They have a nice look to them. So I'm going to just place it right here next to that. And that they actually fit perfectly in there. So this area will be quite, you might think that a suburb like this would be like very cohesive and look almost the same, but I have picked up some buildings here that I'm going to use, and I was thought that I was only going to use these buildings, but then while looking around what the assets I have, I found another couple of buildings that I felt like these would actually fit quite well into like the air. What I don't know how to say. Now I lost words. Sorry. These buildings. Oh, there is Wolfie. Come on, Wolfie, wake up! It's time to build. Yeah, we're gonna play some games. Yep, and now we're back. And these buildings here, they are from a Chinese asset, but I'm gonna fiddle around with them quite some time. It's hard to get them really good lined up because they look good from one angle, and then you change the angle, and it looks horrible. And actually, that the ground in this area is very, what do you say, hilly, like most places in this city. Yeah, we're gonna try and line this up pretty good, but and they're gonna be like this area of these buildings in these 3 blocks. I'm just starting with this one, and then later on, and I'll do the other ones. What they're gonna be, these 3 blocks along the road here is gonna be with these buildings, and then further in, they're gonna be more like small townhouses, row houses, and very different styles on either side. What I was thinking is that some of the area was built a little earlier, and then later on there was built either that some of these old houses were torn down and new ones were built, or that it just wasn't built before and that was just added later on. I'm putting in these small pedestrian roads in between the houses here, because and later I'm going to put in some tree. Yeah, I think I put in the trees right now around here, like a small park in between these buildings. And I'm just gonna try and move these buildings so that they fit together the way I want them. Yeah. And as usual, I will just put up, mostly do, you see that weird looking building there? I just wanted to see how it looks, and I thought that maybe I would use it here, but I didn't quite find a spot where it fitted. And here is where I put up these. I'm gonna change the roads a little, and then I end up putting the rows back in exactly the same place where I took them out. But these buildings, I feel that these are like the new addition to this area. I thought that I could actually put them a little bit closer together here, and then I noticed that no, you can't, because they will interfere with each other. You have those trees in the back. So the roads will go back exactly where they were before I took them out. And this is like a new development of these more modern houses on this side of the area. And this is how it looks when I finished it. I felt like me plopping all these buildings wouldn't be all that nice to look at, and I will of course fix the terrain later. I haven't actually bought the area that is adjacent to this one, so once I do that I have to fix the hills there. And I put in a small elementary school. Yeah, that looks horrible there with the cliffside, but that will be smoothed out and fixed later on. Not in this video, but when I come back to this area in a later video. And here I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do on this other side. I was first thinking I would put the same buildings as I have done before, but I just didn't feel like it. So I'm thinking of extending the area of these eco houses. But then I thought that no, this is, even though they are very close together, these two areas, they were built very separately, in my mind at least. So I'm starting here to see if I can put these buildings here, but I just feel like they're not quite what I want. So this is when I decide to actually extend these kind of buildings and put them over here. And I thought first I put them exactly the same way, but then I thought that no, we break it up a little. We put them, you see that they look very weird before I actually put them out. But I thought that no, this asset is broken, I won't be able to use it. But then I put it down, and after I did, it actually looked away, and this side it just doesn't want to be the way I want them to. So I just use move it instead. And I'm going to put them like this on this side, and it will be the same on the other side of the on the middle ones. Like one area where some developer bought the area and put in these houses, and I think that's actually quite cool that is built in one way there, and you have the other one in the middle with like a small park there. So this is now what it looks like, and now I'm just thinking what I'm going to do here in the middle and what I'm going to do. And then I think I decided that I'm going to continue with the area up here. And this is the kind of houses I decided for. And that this is like, either there are some developer that actually kind of like these older houses that built them, or these are houses that are and then I realized that when I put them here, that's so steep here, so that it looks horrible when I put it in. I mostly think that these are some development that went up quite a long time ago, and that have been here for a while. Maybe it was like part of a little community that was built up on a hill here outside of town, and then the town grew out towards it. And yeah, I'm jumping ahead here. As I said, it didn't look very nice, so I put in some retaining walls and some grass networks to make it look to have this terraced feeling to it, and I think that it looks really awesome. Maybe not as good as a lot of other people on the SimCity scene would be able to create, but I think I did a pretty good job for my skill level. And the way it sits up here, up towards the top of the hill, is kind of cool. And I was thinking if I want to do the same here, but I don't know that it just doesn't fit together, and how I'm gonna make these two areas like flow together. And I'm trying some buildings here, but it just doesn't seem right. And I see I have some zoned area left over there. I think I take it away later, but I'm not sure. and I'm just looking through what kind of assets I have, and I come across this, no, that building, and I thought, no, maybe, yeah, it kind of get the feeling of a little bit more modern, like the ones to the right, but still has a little bit more of a look that might fit the other ones, maybe not, but still, I think that, and actually I think they fit pretty well up the hill here, like terraced up. And then I just decided to put some more high rises or higher rises here on the back. And this more gets the feeling that this area to the right was built before, and then nothing was built for a very long time, and then some developers came in and started buying up some land here and building more houses. And now we're going to see me fiddling around with retaining walls and network access, and probably failing a lot, because this was a hard spot to get right. I will see if I can go back here later and do this much better once I actually learn to do this much better. And but so far I think I got it pretty good. I don't know why I don't have it on speed build. I must have forgotten it in the edit, and I don't feel like going back and changing it right now. But after I'm done with this area, or placing the buildings I want in this residential area, I'm going to go over to the commercial and office area between the train station and this area. And what I thought of how that area was going to be is like a transition between the high rises in the city and the little bit lower rises out here. It's still that this area here is actually, even though it's like a suburban area, it's still very close to the core downtown of the city. Oh, sorry for that. And so I don't actually know if I'm getting the right feeling in the commercial area, but I think it will look pretty good, and we will. Here I'm trying to get in the network asset, and it actually, you see that it snapped with the retaining wall, and that was not what I wanted. And now I finally realized that, yeah, I can do this on speed build. That will be much better. So I'm trying to put in some wall as some and of course I will come back and I will try and do this much better than I have done now. This is just for getting an idea of how it will look. And I'm using this ploppable, trying to at least find the part there, and it just doesn't want to. I'm using some parts of a ploppable grass there to get the corner correctly. And I'm trying to fill in with this surface painter here, but as you know, surface painter doesn't go very well with sidewalks, so I took it away. I will put in some trees and things like that to make the flaws not so visible. And I thought that maybe I can put in some plopwood there, and for some reason there's a road coming in there. But the ploppable just didn't quite want to work the way I wanted. And you see here that there's a gap there, but I thought that as long as I get that to look pretty okay, I will be satisfied. And then as I said, I say that too much, don't I? Go back and fix the area the way I really want it later, when I do like detailing work of everything. Like probably put in a hell of a lot more nodes. Oh, I shouldn't say hell of a lot, but I will put in more nodes in these terrain networks to make them look much better and getting the retaining walls in good positions. And that looks kind of weird with that hilly thing over there. And I'm trying to put in some ploppable, but it just doesn't want to work the way I want it to. Yeah. And if you're looking at this, I can say that I'm starting another series, not with City Skylines, but with Civilization, and it will be on my channel tomorrow, the first episode. I just felt like playing something different. I played so much of my time at Porsche and City Skylines these past days, so I thought that I just wanted to play something else, and I decided that I might as well start a series with it. So there will be one episode out on tomorrow, and then one on Friday. So that will be it. Now I just got a message on Discord from a friend of mine. I gotta tell him that I can't talk right now, but I will keep talking here. And so if you like that kind of games, check it out. And here we are. I have finished with this area as far as I want to go right now. So this I will put in some roads here, and I will see, trying to decide if I'm going to do something with this area. Then I decide that no, not to. I will do that later when I come back to this area. And now I'm going to try and write here the same as I'm talking. And I put in a park here because I thought that this was a nice spot for it. I actually built a lot of this before with a different park and put in some other buildings and everything. And I was trying out an asset I downloaded from the workshop, and it was huge, and it suddenly covered this whole area, and that there was no way of getting it. I couldn't delete it. It just didn't want to. So I had to reload the game and do about 5 or 6 minutes of recording all over again. And then I decided that no, the other park I used here was just didn't look very well because it was just a little bit too small for the area there. And then this park that I put in fit it perfectly. And now I'm I put in no collision here, so an anarchy. And I can put in this playground between these two residential towers. I will maybe do the same on the other side of the park in this area, but I haven't decided really what I'm going to do there. I see they've maybe put in some bus stops, some bus terminal or something else here, but I just decide against it. I think this, I will see later what I do. I have plans of maybe doing a third subway line that will go across the city from this area and over to where the industry is on the other side of the bridge there. That I'm going to build some residential and offices and commercial there, and I will maybe run a train line. Now you see here that I've taken away all the buildings in this area to clear it for what I'm going to do. So yeah, what am I going to talk about now? You see this very busy, I don't know if it's busy or not, but there's 5 rows coming into one spot there. And I'm just redrawing the roads a little bit here to what I feel would be more suitable. Thinking of if I can change this road, but no, I wanna keep it like that. And So I'm going to start here on this area. I'm just thinking, what are those lines, and what is this weird? I think it's due to the intercity bus station I had there before, that people are still there waiting for an intercity bus that will never come. But because the intercity bus station is of course moved to there in the upper right hand corner. So I'm trying to remove this piece here, but apparently it's just there. It's nothing. It's like the same of the other building I put in here. So I'm putting up some little bit taller office buildings here to be, and of course these aren't taller, but to like a little bit transition from what the taller buildings on the side, on that side of the train station into this area. This is still a very central part of town with the train station, but still it's not that central. It's still outside of the boom, like the wrong side of the tracks or something like that. No. It's very much a commercial office worker district. Now splicing some buildings together here, and I think they actually fit quite well together. There's going to be a lot of splicing in this episode, with buildings going into each other and trying to get this, just to get this feeling that it's not all the same vanilla buildings you put all the time. And splicing is a very nice way of getting a building to look a little bit different than what they're actually doing. So here I'm putting in a big parking lot in this middle of this office tower area. I feel like that is what's needed. When I actually need a lot of parking lots in areas like this. Trying to find some buildings that will fit in this area here. And I put in a parking garage, one more. And this is an area where where someone you buy a plot of land and you build a building, and the regulations aren't that hard on what are actually allowed to do. The city is more inclined to like, yeah, we allow people to build here, and then we get tax revenue for whatever company moves in. I thought that this building would have fitted very well there on the corner, but decided against it. And we're just putting in some more buildings. I will later do like this is like the small alleyway that I found, and it's actually like a road. You can cars drive on it and everything, and it's also buildings acknowledge it as a road, so they don't complain if you don't if you put them against it. So that was kind of a nice thing. So here I do the same. I put this small alley between here, and in the area down by the water there that I built in the second episode, I'm going to use this road a lot because it's very suitable for getting into small places in between those buildings, and so I really like that road and like that I found it. Now we're going on with some more splicing and another parking garage to maybe I change the road there later to a normal one. Some more taller buildings and some more splicing, and yeah, and it's coming together pretty good here. You get a nice mix of lower, mid-rise, and a little bit taller buildings. And here I just thought that I was gonna do some kind of market, and I see that this alley, it looks very nice and it's thin and fits. You can get it very thin, but it doesn't do junctions. And here I thought that I will do like a market along this street that you walk in, and have, and I wonder why happened there, and I see that I had actually kept the node there. And I turned this around because I thought that it was the wrong way around, and then I realized, no, it wasn't. I have to turn all of them around again. They're just right next to the alley here, so you walk in and you can walk along and do some shopping from these small market stalls here. I think that was kind of a cool idea. And then we have buildings on the outside lining this road, trying to find buildings that suits this, because I have to be at least 3 wide, preferably 3 wide, so otherwise you get this area between the stalls and the buildings. And I realized that when it comes to commercial buildings, I have either very small ones or big ones. I really have some of these that are mid-size, but I feel like I really don't have that many mid-size buildings as I want, or bigger buildings. But you see, I think I find a pretty good mix of buildings. And here I found this one, and I think it looks pretty cool when you turn them around and put them together. Even though the billboard sign disappears, but you can imagine that this is like some kind of motel or hotel, or this cheap kind of budget hotel, or something like that. When you look at it, you have this. I didn't realize that. No, you have all these balconies and the stairs up in each building. And then when I gone in this way, I saw that actually nothing on the backside of them. So I put in some zonable pedestrian roads in here. I put in some buildings around it to some more splice in there, and I realized that no, this building just didn't fit there because it was in the way of that billboard, and I don't think that ones that own the bigger building there would like to have that someone come in and build a building right next to that they blocked their billboard. And I pull this in a little bit, and I fill it in with here, and I put some parking lots in, and then after I put in these parking lots, I actually realized that you have these I don't know what they're called actually, but on the pedestrian road there that you're not supposed to be able to drive in. And then I thought that no, it could be this kind that actually you can lower them into the ground, so that you're not you have to be like a store, have permission, or have some kind of special permission to go in and park your car inside there. And here I put up some of this kind of build taller commercial towers. They look kind of boring, but I think that they just have this feeling with the parking garage there, and that looks very nice either. And some smaller commercial buildings here, and I'm just going to remove this stone. And this is just filling in the last place. This with some low density commercials, more like a little bit of a shopping area, trying to find some buildings that might fit. And this one I have in another place, so I'm not going to use it here. Just looking for some buildings to use, but I actually end up using that one. Uh, yeah, and you saw that I have downloaded some market stalls there, but I thought that these look very nice, and then I was gonna plop them, and they didn't show. And here I have this supermarket that I downloaded, and I thought that this might be fit here, but it's absolutely huge. And this supermarket I can't use because it has some conditions to it that I haven't fulfilled in the game. So I have to find some other buildings to put in, and I found, and I think this one fits. I don't know if it will fit or anything. If someone builds a tall building like that, if someone will complain. But this is, and then I thought, was I'm gonna keep on building and doing that area there, but between this area and next with an echo of houses there in this area here. But I thought that no, that would make this episode quite long, and it's already quite long, half an hour. So I will come back and do that some other time. So this is what I built this episode. I hope it's to the liking, and that it doesn't look way too unreal. This area here